we're going to do today is look at solving exponential equations. Okay, so if you're on your phones, put those up. I see several people on their phones. Okay? Okay, if y'all remember the other day, I had up here on the board a bunch of graphs, and we talked about how Algebra 2 works. We look at a function, we look at the graphs, and then we solve some equations for it. And so that's what we've done with these exponentials. We kind of introduced it a little bit by talking about exponential growth and decay, and then we looked at the graphs. That's what we just finished up, and that's what y'all took a quiz on yesterday. And then today, we're going to spend today and Monday on solving exponential equations. Then on Tuesday, we're going to do something else. Wednesday, Thursday, have a review and a test. Okay? Okay, so this says solving exponential equations. Okay? I actually like doing this. I think it's pretty easy. And once you get the hang of it, I think you'll find that too. Okay. The x that we're trying to solve for, solving means to find the x. The x that we're trying to find is in the exponent. Okay, so that presents a little bit of a problem to us, but it's easily solved, okay? It's easily figured out. So there's this thing called property of equality for exponential equations, okay? And what it says is if the bases are the same, okay, so if these bases, the bases are the big normal number, okay? If they're the same, then it says the exponents are also the same, okay? So if the big bases are the same, then the exponents are also the same. So you can set them equal, okay? Okay, so here's an example. So they're saying 3 and 3 are equal, okay? Ivan, you got your pencil? Okay. Do you need a pencil? Okay, so 3 and 3 are equal, so then that means the exponents are equal, okay? So you can set the exponents equal. All right. Oh, okay, thank you. Okie doke. So that means x equals 5 there. So let's play around with these two. Okay, so we're going to have to change 4 and 2 so that 4 and 2 are equal. So if I'm going to make my 4 a 2, but that's not the same, is it? A 4 is not a 2. So how do I make this 2 a 2? What kind of exponent would I use? A 2. 2 squared is 4. So I haven't really changed the 4. I've just come up with another way to write the 4. Okay? So then I bring down the x. Then over here I have 2x minus 3. So now that our 2's are the same, I can set these equations equal and then just solve. Okay? So now I can say 2x equals x minus 3. We kind of forget the big base numbers of 2, okay? Because we're trying to figure out what this x is and up here in the exponent. So now I just solve. I move the x over. I get 2 minus 1 is 1x, good, equals negative 3. So I figured out what x is. X is negative 3. Okay? Okay, so let's try another one. A 9 and a 27 need to be the same number. What number do you think they might be? 3. Okay, good. A 9 is 3 what? Squared. And then we're going to bring down our 2x. I think it was last period I forgot to bring down the 2. I just brought down the x. So be careful. That was definitely a careless mistake. Equals, okay, 27 is 3 to the 3rd power. Now we have both of the bases are the same, and we can set up our exponents to be equal. Okay, so we're going to say 2 times 2x equals 3 times x minus 2. Okay, so we get 4x equals what? 3x minus 6. Good job. Okay. Now what do? Yeah, subtract 3x. We get 4 minus 3 is 1x equals negative 6. Okay? Yeah, that's it. Now, on your worksheet today, you're going to have some answers that are fractions, so don't panic, okay? Okay, now, okay, you got it? You got it? Okay. So now on the next page, okay, also don't panic when you see a fraction here, okay? I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to kind of forget that it's a fraction for a second, okay? We have an 8 and a 2, okay? How can I rewrite 8 using exponents? Maybe with a 2. Maybe that's our hint right there, right? 2 to the what power? Not fourth, but third. Remember, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. That was back when we were doing, I don't remember what we were doing. I tried to get you to memorize that one. Okay, start memorizing some of these. Like you should be kind of where you've got 27. You know that that's 3 times 3 times 3. Get those in your head. Now, let's talk a minute about, so I kind of have this written here. That one half is written a little funny, so I rewrote it. Okay, so let's come over here. Let's talk about negative exponents. Okay, negative exponents. So, we have 1 over 2. 2 is to the what power? To the first power, isn't he? 2 is to the first power. Okay, Charleston, you taking notes, buddy? Okay. 2, but you can't be flipping through there and taking notes and understanding this at the same time. Okay, 2 to the first power. Now, I don't want it to be a fraction. I can't have fractions for my bases unless they're the same. So, I'm going to move this 2 to the first power to the top. Okay, but when I do that, we have to change the sign of the exponent. So this is going to become 2 to the negative 1. Okay, so let's forget about that a minute. Let me come over here and just show you some more. Like if I had 1 over 3 squared, and I want it to be on the top, it would be 3 to the negative 2 power, right? What if I had, just in general, what if I had 4 squared over 1, and I wanted to move him to the bottom? For some reason, I needed to move him to the bottom. What would I do? It'd be 4, negative 2, okay? What if something starts out negative with a negative exponent? You change it to a what? If you're moving it, okay, so I have 4 to the negative 3. I want to move him to the top, so I change his sign, okay? You change the sign. It was a negative, I changed the sign to a positive. It was a positive, I changed it to a negative. It was a positive, I changed it to a negative. It was a positive, I changed it to a negative. You change it, okay? Okay. So, now I'm going to say 2 to the third power equals 2 to the negative x minus 4. So now we're done with those bases of 2. You'd be writing. Okay, now we're done with those bases of 2, and all we need to focus on is the exponent right here. Okay, so we say 3 equals negative x minus 4. And, wait, what did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong? Oh, you know what I did? I did what I did last period. What did I forget to do? Bring down the x. So bring down the x, bring down the x, bring down the x, bring down the x. I was like, wait a minute, that's not the way it looked. Okay? Huh? Yeah, well, I just bring it down. Okay? I don't want to say add x because I don't want somebody to say plus x. Okay. Now what do I do? Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying add x here. I see what you're saying. Sorry. Okay. So now we have 4x equals negative 4. Good job. Divide by the 4, and we get negative 1. Okay? Yes. Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a smartest period. I have, about the same all day. Okay. Okay, so let's do another one with a fraction to practice that a little bit. Okay, a 9 and an 81. So how can you get them to be the same? Make them both what? Make them both, you can make them both 9s. 81 is 9 what? 9 squared. You could make them both 3's. You could. You could have the 81 be 3 to the 4th, and you could have the 9 be, 9 to be -2. Okay? Not 9. 3. Yeah, 3 -2. You could. You can make them both 3's. You can make them both 9's. Whoever made them both 3's and whoever made them 9's, you should still get the same answer in the end. Okay? So if your buddy next door used 3's and you used 9's and you're comparing the answer, you should have the same answer. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is 1/9. 9 has what exponent? What? Yeah, we're going to bring it down in just a minute. Yeah, well, okay, we'll focus on the 9's and we'll bring this stuff down. Okay, 9 to the what power? To the what power? No, to the first power. That's a 9 to the first power. Okay? I've got to bring him up here. So when I bring him up, okay, he's going to be a -1. Okay? Now, I'm going to bring down these exponents, 3 minus x and 5x minus 6. Okay? So we have the 9's are the same. Did I make any mistakes on this one, guys? Not yet? I got it? Okay. So we are going to focus on the exponents. Okay? So we have 2 times 3 minus x equals -1. 5x minus 6. Okay, so we get what? 6 minus 2x equals -5x plus 6, right? Okay, now we can just solve it like we're in 8th grade or whatever. Okay, so what do you do? Add 5x. Let me see if I can stop this recording for a second. Okay, so we'll see if that worked. Me turning it off and turning it back on. Okay, so y'all probably already finished it. So we're going to add 5x here. Okay, and then we get 6 plus 3x. Come on, pen. Okay, equals 6. So we want the 6 to go over there. Okay, so minus 6. We get 3x equals 0, and now you go into panic mode, and you go, oh my gosh, I can't get a 0, and you write no solution, or you don't finish it, or you come ask me for help, or whatever, right? 0 is a number. You can have a 0. Keep going. Don't stop. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so x equals 0. You can divide by a 3. We divided by a 3 here. You can't divide by a 0, but we divided by a 3. Okay? Okay. Okay, so that's 4 problems, kind of how to do that. You get the bases the same. Okay, so on the next page, what if the bases can't be changed to be the same? So for instance, a 6 and a 1500, we can't make those the same. Okay, so what we do is we have to use our calculator. And y'all will find this easy because you've done these steps before. Okay, so you get your calculator out. Okay, you turn it on. And you go to y equals. And you clear out what's in your y's. Okay, so go to y equals and clear out what's in your y's. Okay? Everybody done that? Okay, so you're going to type these in. You're going to type in, and it doesn't matter who you type into what, y1 and y2, okay? But we're going to type in 6 and use the carrot top or the rooftop or whatever you want to call it to show that something needs an exponent. If you type that in, the calculator, this is what the calculator is going to do. Okay, the calculator is going to raise the 2 up but it's not going to raise the 6 up. It's going to just only raise up what's right next to it. So to fix that, you need to put the 2x in parentheses so that it will raise the whole 2x up and not just the 2. Okay? So 6, caret top. The caret top's underneath the clear key. Your parentheses are above the 8 and the 9 keys. 2x. And then close your parentheses. Okay, then do a 1500. So we're trying to see where they're crossing. Where they cross is going to make a point. It's going to be a point. And a point has an x and a y. And we want the x value of that point where they're crossing. Okay? So you've done this before. Let me ask you this. Does second trace or second calc 5 enter sound familiar? Yes, it does. You've done that before. Okay? So, that's what we're going to do. Go to second calc 5. And you wait a minute for it to quit graphing. Second calc, which is the trace key up there, 5. Now, your window might be all messed up. So, it's okay if your window's messed up because it's graphing it. You just might not be able to see it. Okay? It's literally like a window. Okay? As long as, when this finishes spinning over here, then you know it's graphed in there somewhere. Go ahead and try it without changing your window because that can be a big pain. My window shows it because I fixed my window. It's showing it crossing right there. Okay, so we put them in y equals right here. We did second calc or second trace 5. We allowed the calculator to finish graphing even though we may not see the graph. And then we're going to press enter, enter, enter 3 times slowly. Wait till it finishes spinning over there, and we get 2.040. So, I can't write in this blank because the calculator's in the way, but we're going to take it out to 2 decimal places, and we're going to use the 3rd decimal place to tell us if we should round up or keep it. So that 3rd decimal place is a 0, so we're just going to keep the 4, right? Okay. Yeah, there was a calculator last period, I don't know, that kept kind of messing up. We had to switch calculators. How about if you just try second calc 5? Nope. Okay, you may have to switch calculators. Try that one and see. Okay, so let's do another one. Okay? So, you can type in all this. Okay? So go back to where? Y equals. You're going to have to clear out what was in there. Okay? Then you type 2 parentheses, that means 2 times 1.5 raised to the x power. Who's getting raised to the x power? Just the 1.5, right? Not the 2. Just I thought I'd ask you that. Okay, then type a 6 in. 2 times 1.5 raised up to the x power, and put a 6 on the next line. What do you press next? Second calc 5. Let it quit spinning. Now mine's graphing really low down here because I had this set at like 2,000 because that other thing was 1,500, and so I made it bigger than 1,500, and that's why we could see ours. But mine is down here a little bitty right now, but it's okay. I can just leave it like that. Now I'm going to press enter 3 times. Enter, enter, enter until you see it says intersection at the bottom. 2.7095. What are we going to do with that 5? Oh, yeah. Yeah, never mind. 2. I think in past years I've done 3. Yeah, the 9 makes it become a what? Makes it become a 2.71, doesn't it? Okay? Okay. So let me turn this off. I'm going to turn it off over there.